Welcome back, friends, and welcome back to this wonderful little book, which we are going to conclude today, The Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and a Happy Life by Hector Gracia and Francis Morales. Now, these two wonderful people have given us a lot of insights, a lot of tips how to live a long life and a happy life. So we've come to the end of the book now. This is the 9th chapter. And I'm not going to take this chapter in a very formal word-to-word way because it's very simple. We all know what we are going to hear over here. I'm just going to take the main takeaway points from this last chapter and from this entire book now. The first thing this chapter talks about is resilience. Let me just share a very brief presentation which I had made. Just give me a second. Here. I hope you can see it now. Yeah. So Ikigai and Wabi Sabi. This is this last chapter. A few more words, few more terminologies you will hear which you had not heard before. So Ikigai, let's define it, is a Japanese concept that means a reason for being. It is the combination of what you love, what you are good at, what the world needs, and what you can be rewarded for. If in one line we have to define Ikigai, this is the definition. And we have seen this in this Venn diagram, in this representation here too. Okay. So these are the few more Venn diagram mein hota hai na, kahin par two circles overlap, somewhere they don't. So people who are doing maths will understand this better. So it was just a little representation of the book which I got. है ना? So Ikigai center में मिलेगा जब ये सारे चीजें हमारी overlap जहाँ पे अच्छे से कर रही हैं. If any one of this is not overlapping there, then that is not your Ikigai. These are just little signs, you know. आपका passion जरूर है. You are satisfied, but you feel useless. It's not your Ikigai. Okay? आपका mission is making you happy, but you are lacking wealth. It's not your Ikigai. So that is the way we have to check what is our Ikigai. So the first word in this book, in this last thing which we have to understand, is the word resilience. It's a very commonly used word nowadays. Resilience, if we have to define, would mean that people who are resilient, they pursue their passion no matter what. Kuch bhi ho jaye, they will not give up what they are doing. So they are resilient. Okay? But resilience is not just the ability to be perseverance, matlab bahut hard work karna. Resilience rehte, we have to go beyond it. Number one, we have to remove all the negative emotions attached to it. And secondly, uske upar se we have to reach a stage which is going beyond resilience, which is also called anti-fragility. We will be discussing that term also today. So these Japanese, they have a very famous proverb, which is not written here. I'm just sharing with you from the book. It says, I don't know how to speak Japanese, so I might be pronouncing it all wrong. It is Nana Korobi Ya Oki. Now, what it means is fall 7 times, rise 8. So whenever you think you are losing somewhere, you don't have to give up. You have to come back again with a bang. Learn from your mistake, come back. Learn from your mistake, come back. Okay? So resilience is our ability to deal with setbacks. These are different definitions of resilience. अब meditation करते हैं हम, we have also understood कुछ भी problem आती है, it has come to teach us, make us stronger and to move ahead. So we become more resilient when we do our meditation also. Okay, so this another, this is a prayer. It's called a serenity prayer. And this is a line from that serenity prayer by Reinhold Niebuhr. This is, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. अब things which you cannot change, अब उसके पीछे लगे ही रहोगे, अब resilience में भी थोड़ा common sense चाहिए. something which I just cannot do. I cannot become a cross-country runner suddenly at this point in my life. So if I say, no, mujhe to karna hai, and, I continue doing something which I cannot change. So that is going to give me disappointment. So resilience means also being sensible to know what you can change. जो आप change कर सकते हो, वही आप change करोगे. I can become more peaceful, so I'm working on that. I can become more loving, I'm working on that. I can control my anger, I'm working on that. Things which I just cannot control, that I can't do. Okay? Someone has passed away, I cannot bring it back to life. So I won't say I'm going to be resilient and I'm going to bring this person back to life. I don't have those powers. We have to accept. So this is a very, important term which we have to remember, resilience. And then, uske saath maine kya bola? Serenity, the prayer of serenity, that was to accept things which you cannot change and work on things which you think you can change, right? And accept that serenity. Now, this emotional resilience has been given by two very commonly followed sects in the world. This is what we people are understanding and doing, that is Buddhism. Siddhartha Gautama started this. We all know it. Being Indians, we know the story of Buddhism, how it came up. He did not actually wanted to become a monk or an ascetic or something like that. He was just looking for answers. He was not able to find the answers. And eventually, when he went to so many gurus for 6 years trying to find answers, he did not get the answers. When he sat alone and followed his own breathing, he got enlightened. And that is the time he realized that a wise person can live with the pleasures of life also, but should always remain conscious of how easy it to be enslaved by them. So we don't have to be enslaved by our pleasures, or these emotions should not control us. We should be able to take care of our emotions, and therefore there is no need to leave everything and go and sit alone in a cave or on the Himalayas or something like that. That's not required at all. So while we continue with our normal life, enjoy the pleasures of our life, we can still be very calm and serene and be happy, joyful, and blissful. Okay, so this was Buddhism. Then this is another very less known, methodology. It is called the Stoicism. Here, it is almost like our Buddhism. Basically, they also talk about resilience, how to be very calm, peaceful. But one thing they do is they basically aim at being resilient by accepting your negative emotions also and not being deterred by it. But something I will just share because it's in the book, I still have to understand what it means. Like in our meditation, we very naturally, the negative thoughts, we ignore them. Here, they don't ignore the negative emotions. What they do is they go through those emotions and then stay not disturbed. For example, if you have a desire for fancy cars, so what they will do is for a few days, they will not use a car, they will walk. They will not use that thing which is making you, the desires, your desires, they try to remove it. For example, if like food, if you are, you have a lot of interest in eating good foods, so then they will go without food for a week to be able to live in that kind of an emotion too. So I just shared with you. So there's both these, basically it is both Buddhism and this, they are both dealing with how to deal with your feelings and pleasures. Okay. Then the next term in this chapter, which is very important, is mindfulness. Jo hum log karte hain. Anyone knows the name of this person? Though it's written there. I have mentioned his name a number of times in my meditation. His name is, he's a Tibetan monk, passed away 25th of January last year. at the age of 95. His name is Thich Nhat Hanh. If you've heard it, it's a little difficult to pronounce his name, but after a year, I've managed to pronounce it correctly. He speaks more of being in the present moment. If we are not fully ourselves, truly in the present moment, we miss everything. If we are not fully ourselves, truly in the present moment, we miss everything. So what I learned from his books and his meditation is that we don't have to bother about the past or the future. Life is present only in this moment. So he talks a lot about being in the moment and the importance of silence. In fact, he's written a book also on power of silence. It's a lovely book. If you ever get to read it, you should read it. So he talks about being mindful, being in the moment. We generally miss small pleasures of life by always being in the past or the future, anger of the past, anxiety of the future. We miss the present moment. हम घर से बाहर निकल रहे हैं, we don't even bother to see कितने new flowers आए हैं, because we are thinking about so many things which you're going to do in the later part of the day. We miss that little tiny moment. Okay, so his meditations are beautiful. You can search on the YouTube when you're doing your own practice, Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay. Okay, this is another very important quotation given by Epictetus. Okay, Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. So when we talk about meditation, I think we understand these things now quite well. हम meditation करते हैं, we have learned to respond and not react. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. उससे हम दुखी होते हैं, उससे हमें गुस्सा आता है, and then we react. So when we react, we mess up our lives and also the lives of people around us. So we have to learn how to respond. So these are the secrets of these Japanese, which now I think we are also all competent enough to learn and follow, because meditation has given us a lot of knowledge as well as wisdom. What is knowledge and what is wisdom? What is the difference? Can anybody tell me? The difference between knowledge and wisdom. These are two words we use very often. कोई attempt करेगा?
Jasbir ji, knowledge is something which is acquired. Wisdom is coming from within, which is already imbibed.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, knowledge is like I'm reading this book, I'm telling you what is in this book, it is knowledge. Unless we practically apply to ourselves and it comes from our own experience, then it will become wisdom. Knowledge is also important. Knowledge also does give a little wisdom, but the wisdom which comes from your own personal experience. Now, I keep on talking about meditation. Meditation does this, meditation does that. All that is knowledge I'm imparting to you. But if it is affecting your life somewhere, you feel healthier, you feel energetic, then it is wisdom for you. So yeah, very, very nicely said, Rahulji. That is the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Okay. So, हमें पता तो है हमें react नहीं करना, but the minute we get angry, everything goes for a toss and we blow out, right? So, wisdom नहीं आई अभी. It is just knowledge. So now with meditation, we are changing our knowledge into wisdom as we go on experiencing new things. So now, all that we have done now, how these people are, expressing the same thing, a way of living that focuses on finding beauty within the imperfections of life through acceptance of the natural cycle of growth and decay. Means everything does not have to be perfect all the time. Means hamari life, we have come here to learn. I can always say we are energy beings. We are here to learn lessons. So when we are learning lessons, there are going to be problems in your life. In fact, suppose just imagine your life minus all the challenges, minus all the issues. It's going to be so boring, you won't be learning anything. Okay? So whenever we have kuch problem आई, जैसे मेरे को कोई problem आई थी, so I I started looking for solutions. I found something I want to share with others. So we have to learn to accept all the ups and downs of our life in the way it is. हमें झूठी इमेज देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है किसी को. Imperfection is a part of life. You are living. अगर कुछ imperfections भी आती हैं. We are growing older now. Those signs are going to show on our faces, maybe. So we don't have to keep hiding them. Yeah. We have to accept our life with all its imperfections and take it that we are alive. That means we are alive. Otherwise, so we'll be just a photograph if nothing happens to us. So we have to take that and finding beauty within the imperfections of life. Okay. Okay. Then the second thing which they talk about is Ikigai, which means one time, one meeting, which actually means living in the moment. They also mean that life is happening only in this present moment. So jo Thich Nhat Hanh ka humne abhi piche padha, living in the moment, this is what they basically talk about. So yehi do inke bhi main takeaway points hain from this chapter. One is living in the moment, and second one is accepting life with all its plus and minus and taking experience from it and not reacting but responding. That's it. So those are the two beautiful takeaways. And then this last term, which is in this chapter as well as in this book, that is anti-fragility, is beyond resilience or robustness. The resilient resists shocks and stays the same. The anti-fragile gets better. Now, this is something which I'm going to take as a takeaway from this book. Resilient tak to tha hi, that we don't change, we remain the same and we face our problems and we don't give up and we carry on, was a very good. Something we have to go beyond that, that is anti-fragile, that is getting better. For example, if you read the Legend of Hercules, I could not get any image uski. Legend of Hercules, he fights the Hydra. If any one of you are aware of what I'm talking about, it had a lot of heads, a lot of arms. वो एक काटता था, so the Hydra used to become stronger. So जब हम problems से strong होने लगेंगे, that is becoming anti-fragile. That means we are not breaking down under that problem. Robust is okay. That is being resilient. हम उसको face कर रहे हैं. But fragile तो अब छोड़ ही दो. Fragile तो we don't break down by problems. Then we were being robust. We were being equanimities में थे. It was not making any difference to us. We were facing it. And now we are going to go a step beyond. So this Ikigai takes you a step beyond to anti-fragile. Here. So a wine glass, agar wo toot jata hai, it is fragile. If it stays the same, it is robust. If it improves, it is anti-fragile. Now these Japanese, inki koi cheez toot jati hai, they don't throw it away, they weld it up with gold. Have you heard about this somewhere? Their crockery or something, yes. They get it welded with gold. And usse wo aur beautiful lagne lag jata hai. We keep thinking, अरे ये कैसे बनाया होगा इन्होंने? So they weld up broken things with gold. They उसमें melt करके. So they fuse gold in the cracks and that thing starts looking better. So जब आप अपनी problem से निकलो, you have to come out better. That is anti-fragile. So that is what I have learned from this last chapter. And now, in 5 minutes, we are just going to summarize the entire book. Okay? Just as lack of physical exercise has negative effects on our body and mood, a lack of mental exercise is bad for us because it causes our neurons and neural connections to deteriorate. And as a result, reduces our ability to react to our surroundings. This is why it's so important to give your brain a workout. So abhi humne 1 ghanta brain workout kiya hai. That is the gym for our brain. Okay. ठीक है? अब ये पूरी बुक में से इकिगाई में 10 rules हमें याद रखने हैं, जिसमें से mostly हम कर रहे हैं. This picture is not all that clear, so I have another one. Okay. The 10 rules of Ikigai. अब अपने में देखते रहो आपके अंदर इनमें से कौन कौन से हैं. स्टे एक्टिव, डोंट रिटायर. ये हमने पढ़ा था इन द फर्स्ट चैप्टर दैट Japanese people don't think of retiring. Take it slow. Means there is no rush. Doing one thing at a time. Remember क्या किया था हमने? Multitasking. We had argued on that, debated on that, that multitasking, is it good, is it bad? And eventually we came to it that no multitasking. क्योंकि जो वो लोग बोल भी रहे हैं ना, हम multitasking करते हैं, it is practically impossible to do multitasking because your brain can be working only on one thing at a time. Yaad hai? No multitasking. Third, we learned from this book is don't fill your stomach. 80% rule. Remember? Stop eating once your stomach is 80%. So I'm just reminding you things which were very important in this book. Aapne ye 10 cheezein yaad kar li, you know Ikigai. Next, we come to, what is that? Surround yourself with good friends. So spending time with friends, community living. Ek dusre ke saath, whenever you get time, just get together, sing, dance, enjoy, whatever you can do. Okay? And all the ladies here, catch up with your friends, your school friends, your college friends, not only with the wives of your husband's friends. Okay? So get connected with your own friends. Then next was get in shape for your next birthday. This is a very beautiful motivation to do exercise. Ki mere next birthday tak I have to look like, I have to be healthier. Basically here I'm not focusing on the external beauty or anything. Means get in shape everywhere. Your health, the way your mind works, the way you feel. So let's get better with that each and every birthday. And not say, ki are ab to hum itne saal ke ho gaye, ab chodo, ab kya karna hai. Nothing like that. And next is the most simplest thing, which we don't do very often, smile. So smile whenever you can. You look so much better. जैसे मैंने आज एक छोटा सा hint दिया था, just say happy morning, you will smile. ठीक है ना? Then reconnect with nature. Nature. जैसे आज हम बात कर रहे थे, say hello to your plants. Just smile at a tree, hug a tree. Slowly, you'll start feeling that connect. Okay. Then give thanks. Gratitude definitely is the ultimate state of receivership. Means jitna hum gratitude express karenge, utna hum universe se receive karenge. Live in the moment. Live in the moment. Thich Nhat Hanh, always remember this word whenever I talk about live in the moment. So he does not bother about the past, the future, and so should not we. Because life actually, hum kitna bhi keh le, planning karna is something different, but living in that planning and missing out on the good things in life which are there in the present moment, that's not very sensible to do. And lastly, follow your Ikigai. And what is Ikigai? I think we all know what is our Ikigai. So that explains the purpose in life. Now, how to find your Ikigai? Hame kya pata hamara Ikigai kya hai? So I had showed you this second book also, which is lying behind me somewhere, the Ikigai journey. So इस question में बहुत सारे practical exercises हैं which can help you to explore and discover your own Ikigai. Otherwise, it is simple. Whatever is giving you fun, which is your passion, you always wanted to do. तो वो हमारा Ikigai हमेशा रहना चाहिए. Okay. So that brings us to our anti-fragile. हमें कैसे बन सकते हैं anti-fragile? Anti-fragile जैसे हमने वो that's also given in this book. Create more options. मतलब life में problem आ जाती है कभी. You know, suppose our employer only throws us out. Then what to do? So हमारा कोई hobby, कोई passion ऐसा होना चाहिए on which we can fall on. हम एकदम से devastate ना हो जाए कि अरे अब क्या करेंगे. Okay. So create more options in your life. Whatever. And then, for example, एक इसमें किसी का example था, like savings also, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. मतलब whatever money you have and all, जितना सबके सब जाके stock market में मत लगा दो. You never know what will happen. So just a major chunk, आप अपना fix कर लो somewhere safe, and the little bit you can experiment. है ना? So these are simple ways on how to go beyond fragility. So that brings us to the end of this book. इसको मैं बंद कर रही हूँ. And आपका कोई और add on, anything you took away? जैसे मुझे तो ये anti fragility बहुत अच्छा लगा. How about you people? Living in the moment, all that meditation, all this is the, yes, what the general takeaways हैं. We all have to remember that. Anything which you were not doing and now you become little conscious ki, yes, this I'm going to do now.
Yes, I will cover this.
Yeah.
ये mindfulness वाला जो है ना, being in the moment, this is, I think, where we need to be more aware and do something better on this. बाकी चीजें फिर भी लगता है थोड़ी थोड़ी हो सकती है और हो भी रही है. And most of them are coming naturally also.
Yeah.
But this is something that needs a little bit of extra effort and that needs more work upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for that, like if you want to focus on being more mindful, I'll advise you start doing meditations which are given in the YouTube by Thich Nhat Hanh. His language is so empowering. Okay. It actually brings you to the, and you look at him, I mean, you will realize that this person has been like that forever, like so peaceful, so calm. There's not too much of guidance in his meditations, but just his one little word here and there keeps you focused over there. Right. So, iski meditation, I can share a link or two on the group of Thich Nhat Hanh. Uske aage fir aap follow kar lena. His meditations are mostly on silence, love, compassion, and being in the moment. So, I keep doing those. That really helped me also.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks. हाँ जी, किसी और ने कुछ सीखा कि कुछ सीखा ही नहीं?
Just using a little catch up, or maybe first of all, I'll just switch on my video also.
Yeah, please. We would love to see you. Yes.
Of course, I'm in the night dress, so
that's absolutely okay. That's okay.
Okay. First of all, the meditation exceptionally good background, the nebula, and that was really impactful, and of course it was deep. Number one. Number two, Ikigai. I had joined your very first session and now in the very last one. So a lot of improvement in narration also, and plus the slides were really impactful today. Maybe I'm more inclined, or maybe there's a maturity in all of us. Like
thank you.
One thing, the Wabi Sabi slide, I could not correlate the imperfection in the background. It means the garden or whatever, it looked to me perfect. So I could not, that was this thing, what is the imperfection out there?
See, that means what I meant there was like our life cannot be perfect all the time, picture perfect like that, na? A good scenery and everything nice. It cannot be the same always. We have to accept each other with our imperfections also. Kuch bhi imperfect. There are some people, I'll just give you an example. Yeah, sometimes you'll meet people, aap kuch bhi kar le, everything is perfect. From your side, you've made an effort, you've thrown a party, you've done all the organization, everything. But there'll be some, when they're going back home, they'll have something to gossip about.
Or maybe gossip, yeah.
Yeah, this was, okay. So they have an eye for imperfection. Unko kuch na kuch imperfect dikhega hi dikhega. For example, there's a stage, everything is set beautifully, flowers, this, that. Yeah. But somehow there'll be one person who will keep looking at the plastic something, the decoration lying, and he's not liking it. He's missed the beauty of the entire stage, the flowers, the people, the smiles on people's faces, and his eyes are just focused on that imperfection. So we have to,
Very
so we
good
have
insight.
to,
like,
yes. So we have to just accept everything the way it is. Now you're looking at my background. You might say, oh, nice books, nice plant, this, but why is that fan visible from the other room? You know? So you have to accept it. Everything like I have done with my whole heart. Maybe I missed out that little detailing. So, but it has to be accepted. That's how life is. Life comes with imperfections. Now, husband and wife, two people living together. Suppose they were identical. Bilkul same nature. And then you have children, same nature. 4 people living in a house, everyone absolutely identical. How boring that household would be. So our house is also fun when we have things to talk about, share, check with each other. So accepting each and every one also with their imperfections. Workplace also the same thing. Now I'm heading a school. Now, if I watch out to everyone, just checking their imperfection all the time, what an unpleasant boss I would be. Always if I'm just pointing out where they've lacked. Rather, if I just, whenever there's a function in my school, I always gather my team again, appreciate each and everyone personally for what their input was, whether it was, sometimes, it happens, people say, oh, only the chosen ones are given the major roles, to receive the guests, to be outside, and hum to background mein hote hai, what do we have to do? I always appreciate them first, that without you, it wouldn't have been possible. The art teachers who did all the artwork. So without that, the stage wouldn't have looked nice. So appreciate the good in them, and then in a very suggestive way, because that's my job to do, next time we'll make it better by doing it this way. That's a way of saying it, but just accepting everyone with their little tiny imperfections also. That's it. That is what Wabi Sabi is. That हमें हर वो ना एक क्या बोलते हैं उसको, we see everything changes. Our looks change, don't they? We didn't look like this 20 years back. We were much better. So we have changed. Does not mean we become less of a person. In fact, maybe we become more beautiful from within. So permanent nahi hai. Nothing is permanent. Everything is changing. That is Wabi Sabi. Everything changes.
And plus, I want to be a Hydra now. Earlier, Hydra was a monster.
Yeah, yes.
Hydra is a role model.
So this is my takeaway too now.
Hydra. This explanation, I have a different, this thing altogether.
So any drawback which comes in our life, any problem. I had a health issue which brought me into meditation 18 years back. So that could have broken me down, made me a sorry figure. Ki bhai mere ko sab taras khao mere upar. But I was resilient. I took it in a stride. I became a warrior. I'm not saying warrior that I fought it. I think it came to teach me a few things where I was lacking. I learned those things. And now I think I've become a Hydra. It has made me better. It has made me better. It has made me stronger. So every religion also, every senior master always says that any problem you get in life, be happy that you've got a challenge in your life, because it has actually come to teach you something. It's like the video game. Every level becomes more complicated and difficult from one to the other. So if you have passed one level, you'll get a more difficult challenge in life, because now you are more resilient, you're more stronger to face it. So I think people who think they have no challenges in their life is beautiful, like the bed of roses. I think the divine things, they are not really prepared to face any challenges. So they're not given any challenges. That's just a very different way of taking it. So whenever you get a problem in life, never feel, why me? Mere saath kyun aise hua? Because you are the chosen one, you are the strong one. The divine things, you have the qualities, you can become a Hydra, you will become stronger after this. That is the whole idea of a soul's progression, to become stronger. So anti-fragility, even I like this idea a hell of a lot. And even, now
for me, this is a new concept, means the new idea. Although I've gone through Ikigai and the book also, the audiobooks also, but then it did not strike me at all, means with that passion or with that understanding.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for joining, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Right, friends? So enough of किसी और को कुछ सीखा बोलो. It's a Sunday. Come on, even if you sit for 5 more minutes. I'm stopping the. Okay, next week, as I've already said, I've called a very sweet friend of mine, Dr. Kajal Tehri. She's a lecturer in the Delhi University. She has written a book, which I mentioned earlier, and she's going to come and talk about her book herself, how meditation has impacted her life. And the name of the book was, I think only monks could meditate, something like that. And please, I request all of you to be present. And if possible, some of you can have your cameras on also when she's there, because it'll be a little more interactive. And she's been in this journey for quite some time now. So like in a better position to clear any of your doubts on meditation or anything. So it's a clear example of living the life in the middle path. She's pursuing her career beautifully, and she's written this book, and we'll have her here next week. And after that, we are going to now dive into the Bhagavad Gita. I think we all are we have enough awareness in us to understand the deeper meanings which Lord Krishna has imparted to Arjun. And now we are going to get that directly. And the book which I've asked you to take is Swami Rama, okay, the perennial science of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, thank you so much. And we meet next week.